Hello, friends of Golf Course Quality Fertilizer. Well, today we're going to be talking about a weed that's growing in our lawn up here in northern Indiana that actually had only appeared around here in the last 15 years or so. It was never, we never had this particular weed around here until about 15 years ago. And actually, a buddy of mine, my assistant superintendent, actually had a friend, and he said, "Hey, I got this weird grass growing in my yard, and I don't know what it is. It's really strong along the edges, and so could you come check it out and see what it is?" So I drove down to New Paris, Indiana, and I found Bermuda grass. And I was like, "Really?" I said, "Is this here every year?" And he's like, yeah, I had it last year in the same spots. It came back this year. And so I called down to Purdue and I asked him, I was like, "Hey, what's going on? I'm finding Bermuda grass up in, and it's surviving the winter up in New Paris." And they're like, no way, that's not possible. And I was like, "Well, it is." Well, now everybody knows it. So here we are 15 years later, and everybody knows now we have Bermuda grass surviving in northern Indiana. And there's only one way to kill it out of a lawn, and it's not with Roundup where you kill everything. Matter of fact, this will end up surviving over anything else because this guy has a root system that can go 2 foot down deep in the ground. Each segment, and this is actually a stolon, this was above ground, right? And that's how you'll see it sometimes. It'll be growing like this, and it's attached to the ground here and hiding in the grass. And you'll pull up these runners. So you'll know you have it if you see this situation right now. You'll be like, "Oh yeah, I got Bermuda grass." And so every segment of this plant, so this little spot, that little spot, every one of these, and notice there's roots growing out of that, can create a whole new plant. So if you cut this off right there, then you have actually what we call a plant that can just start over and start spreading all over the place. And so it's a tough one to kill. The toughest thing about this is that it's a warm season grass, and so it's tougher to kill because it has to be really hot for you to be successful at killing it. And so the temperatures need to be upper 80s and 90s, so it's metabolizing enough to pull the herbicide, the Pylex. That's what we're going to use on it. It's the only thing that can work on it. I'll use a milliliter of Pylex, 3/4 of an ounce of triclopyr, and just a 1/4 ounce of micro oil into a gallon mix, and I'll spray that just wetting the leaves, and it has to be at least in the upper 80s. And we've had a lot of 90 degrees, so everything's really actively growing. So now is actually a good time to spray and take care of Bermuda grass in our yards, and you just gotta go at it on that hot day and come back and spray it again in like 18 days or so. Even if it's not in that temperature range that we were hoping for. Looks like it is gonna cool down, which would be nice. It looks like 10-day forecast, we're gonna get back in the 70s, which would be neat. Yeah, let's kill this Bermuda grass. So I'm gonna show you how I would actually spray it a little bit. We're not gonna film the whole time of me spraying it because that'd be boring, but notice I got pants on because that's what the label tells me to do. Wear pants. If I was spraying trees, it'd tell me wearing long sleeve shirts. It's not because this stuff is poisonous, but we don't want to expose ourselves to anything that's not what we normally expose ourselves to, right? Like I'm not in there doing, cleaning the toilets with bare hands with, the works, because that would be dangerous, right? Even breathing that stuff in is dangerous. And we use that way more often than I use a herbicide in the lawn. And so we're going to go out and we're spray it. So you can't really tell exactly which each little spot is in here, right? And so you're going to kind of have to do a blanket spray, and that's okay. Let's kick this on first. That would help, wouldn't it? Get some going through here. All right. And so I'm just going to go across and just get the area a little damp, right? Just getting the leaves. I'm not trying to soak down to any roots or anything. I'm going to come back again and hit it again, and maybe even a third time, right? And so whenever we're targeting a plant or a grassy weed especially that kind of hides down into our canopy, we're going to have to come back and hit it again in 2 to 3 weeks. That includes clover and things like that as well. So you just come through and give it a good spray, making sure you're getting an even coat across everything, but not saturating it, just getting the leaves wet. You should be able to get 1,000 square feet with 1 gallon, right? This is a 1 gallon sprayer. So I should be able to cover 1,000 square feet with this, which is quite a bit. Now we're running out of some Bermuda grass. There's a little bit. And you don't have to spray every little spot. If you stop seeing it, don't keep spraying, right? And you just keep going after it. And then the next season, when I come out to spray it again, I don't have to do this 3-spray method. I can just come out and spot spray if I see it coming anywhere once. And if I see it again later that summer, I spray it again. So I just kind of spray it. Once I've got this initial spray and got it under control, then I'll come back each year and kind of just spot spray these little spots to keep them under control and keep that out of my yard. You'll have to do the same thing with bent grass too. If you got bent grass that appears in your lawn, always keep an eye out for it. And as soon as it reappears after you've done your initial treatment with your tenacity, and by the way, with tenacity, you're going to add triclopyr in there, 3/4 ounce of triclopyr and 1/4 ounce of micro oil, the same way as you do the Pylex for this. So a lot of people, why their tenacity doesn't work very good is because they don't add those other 2 things in there to help it work better. And that's real important if you're using tenacity, is to add those 2 things into it. So remember that. Thanks for listening.